We never give money to government, right? We will never give money to government. That is not the model of Shaggy and Friends. Point blank. That from a long time and tell me don't do that. So that conversation should be thrown out. We never give money to government, right? We will never give money to government. That is not the model of Shaggy and Friends. Point blank. Now, as far as how we spend it, we have to choose the right way with our team and say how we spend it that we get the best, the most out of our book. And that is what we're doing.
So let me ask you this. What's the future of Shaggy and Friends Shaggy concert going forward?
As far as the concert, you have to remember now, it says Shaggy and Friends. It was never me alone. I have tons of people that are involved in the friends of Shaggy and Friends. When there becomes an attack on Shaggy, it's an attack on the friends. So at the end of the day, I can't, even if I have a change out and say, yeah, I want to do it, I still have to convince these people to come on board with me, right? And in conversations with them, that's a harder sell at this point, you know? So I can't say that it won't happen, but I can tell you, at this time there is no plans for that. But a lot of people don't know that there was a lot of meetings was going on. Started with Dr. James, it was the SMO, and we started that from about a year and a half ago. We had conversations about what to do with the funds. Now remember now, I'm saying 4 years, but we've been sitting in a pandemic for 2. You know what I mean? So we started afterwards and trying to figure out how best to do it. First, they came with a situation that says they were going to just furnish 5 beds. And then there was another situation when COVID had happened, they want us to help to build a ward. We couldn't do that because of the Charities Act of Jamaica, which says that whatever we earmark the money for, whatever it is that we raise the money for, that's where we have to spend the money. So bottom line, if you tell a man, say, you what, we're going to raise the money and we're going to buy a chair. You can't go buy a bed. Right. Right? According to the Charities Act, it's illegal. So we have to buy what is, related to the ICU. Now, my big dream was to build a brand new ICU. That became a little bit difficult when we realized that the hospital is on JDF land. So we don't have enough space. We don't have land. And we realized there were a lot more obstacles to try and get land and get all these approvals to build a brand new ICU. So we came to a different idea, which was Rebecca and Dr. James and Mr. Woods and all of us come with an idea and said, why don't we upgrade the existing ICU? So the existing ICU right now have 5 beds for the whole country. We also found another situation where there were 2 isolation rooms that are not in use anymore. They are using for storage now. So we found spaces, and with our architect, we came in with our architect, and he's looking at the surroundings and how we can expand the current building, right, to facilitate a 7-bed facility, to make it a 7-bed facility, and enough room for storage and offices and stuff like that to work to make the ICU be state of the art. And that is what this whole vibe has been from meetings after meetings after meetings. Now, in fairness, the chairman came into knowledge of this probably a little later. So we had preliminary meetings from before, and he wasn't aware of it until afterwards. I don't talk to the chairman normally, so it was the hospital that really kind of keep him on that. And as far as the minister, I have not had a conversation with the minister at all. So, there goes. But we literally have all the plans that we have going there, and we're basically full steam ahead, and we want to make it happen. For people to approve those things. And I want, before it reaches them, and somebody start marking and say, well, I want the best set of people involved that can execute it properly, make the plans as professional as possible, right? That way I have no problem.
If you touch my blood clot, you're being a problem.
That were pop festivals, and the rest of them was just my individual shows, you know, which me and my fans did. Two of the festivals were reggae. One of those reggae festivals, and to be honest with you, those two reggae festivals are the two lowest paid out of all of them, and gave me the most problem as far as production and as far as everything. And it just got to be at a point where we have a reggae fraternity, and it's a fraternity that is, as I would say, it's 5% of the market share. It doesn't give you much leverage. And so you have a lot of these big festivals that will take certain advantage of things. They might go lowball the artists, they might tell the artists they can't do this, they might give them some little either hotel room, they might go this, they might go that, all kind of things. And most of the Jamaica artists, they might just take it because there isn't much other game in town. But for me, there's a lot of game. I don't have to take it. Right? If I don't go back on that festival for the rest of my life, it's not going to affect my pocket. So that gives me a certain amount of power and leverage to speak my mind on the injustice we me see on behalf of my people.
And what exactly was the injustice?
There were a lot of things that were going on. First of all, you can't have a legend like Toots a play and you have like a fireworks in the middle of the month. That's just one that did happen from before. You can't have me a clothes when me are one of the biggest things to make that even exist, and then you come cut my set and I send people walk on my stage. That no work and come plug out. That can't work. When me see other artists so them have we play and them don't have a problem with it. Remember, I've only done that festival twice in my whole life. Some people do it 4, 5, and 6 times. And I ended up doing it this time, you know, because you want to do as much of these reggae festivals and try to create the things, but I don't have to do all of that. You know, so that's just one of them things where what just happened and yeah, you gotta hear my mind. You know what I mean? I go hold my mouth. And I can afford not to hold my mouth.
Right.